Mary's out today. She'll be back tomorrow, though. Comedian Christopher Titus is back on the show tomorrow. Craig Ferguson will join me a little bit later on. He's got a new podcast called Joy. It's on the iHeartRadio app. A little over an hour from now. Catch up with Craigie Ferg. If you want to text 35192, and here is the way to do that. Guardians are hoping to split this series. Last game today against the Blue Jays, top of the sixth, is 4-1 Cleveland. And then they will head to Tampa, where the Baltimore Orioles suspended their TV guy because he pointed out that historically they've had a real hard time there in Tampa, and I guess the owners didn't take lightly that. I don't know if the guy is back on the case or what's going on there, but dangerous times there in the booth. If you listen on the iHeartRadio app and you do it from out of state, tell me where you do that. I like to know where people are. Put them back here on the big bureau chief map. Denise listens in Tecumseh, Michigan. Ryan's in San Diego. Joe is in San Jose, California. Rodney's down in Garland, Texas. We have a lot of bureau chiefs in Portland, Oregon. Sasha and Jeff and Jarrett and Tatiana and Brittany. And they have lost a long time. You know, we can kind of feel their pain because of Cleveland losing the Lido Lounge over there on 117th, you know. It was there for a long time, and it's been closed for a minute now, but it's death by 1,000 cuts.
But it hasn't been closed. Someone they reopened it. I see cars there on the weekend.
They're not just doing private parties?
I don't think so.
I thought it had been sold and then closed.
It was closed for a little bit, but then reopened for a little while.
Oh.
So I see people out there.
Well, Portland has lost one of its most fabled and valued strip clubs. The Sandy Jug has been there a long, long time. Now, it was a restaurant for a while. That's why there is a giant jug attached to the building. Makes it a local, very notable landmark. But Portland is a city that has a very, very extensive history with strip clubs because the laws in that state forbid any regulation of free expression. And so strip clubs aplenty and crazy right-wing militias aplenty. But now they have one less there in Portland, Oregon, because the Sandy Jug has been shut down. And it used to be a restaurant a long time ago, and then it was a couple of other things. A long time ago, it was a gas station. But they've closed with seemingly little fanfare. One of our Portland bureau chiefs sent me the story. So the jug of its namesake is supposed to look like one of those old moonshine things. You know, it's got the little finger handle and looks like it'd have 3 X's on it.
Yeah.
Somebody's out in the woods with a still. It's one of those. And you may be familiar with it because it's been photographed a lot over the years or whatever, but it became a number of different things, but for a long time it was a strip club. And now it's not there any longer. So just one more of your freedoms being taken away. People there in Portland, Oregon, losing. Now, by the way, if there was not a stripper who called herself Sandy Jugs, that is a real missed opportunity for a place called the Sandy Jug. You think that'd be the first name taken when you get in there? Of course, you'll recall years ago we talked, because Portland has so many strip clubs, they have a vegan strip club. You remember we talked about the vegan strip club some years ago?
Vegan strip club riot. Yes. I didn't know Boca made roast beef.
A big fight at the vegan strip club. I don't know if that one's still open. I don't know. Somebody should develop, unless there already is one and I'm not aware of it. I'm a big strip club guy. But somebody should develop a strip club, let you know if they're still open. Not just like daily hours, but if they've been closed. You know, sometimes you'll go to Google and it'll say permanently closed. But you can't always count on that because, like you just said, we've been hearing about the Lido Lounge being teats up for months now. But you say it's open on the weekends. Like to get some kind of confirmation on that.
I'm pretty sure my buddy was there not that long ago. Yeah.
So personal confirmation.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I thought it was closed, but
also I drive past it on the weekends and I see cars in the parking lot.
Okay.
And it's at night when it would be, people are in the parking lot walking around. It's open on weekends, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know if it still is, but it was for the last month or so.
Well, maybe they haven't set. I thought that it was like imminently due for demolition because, of course, they're going to put a Bank of America there.
Well, there's a lot going on with that because they're combining a few different lots in that area to build that bank. It's not just the Lido Lounge that's getting ripped out. There's a few different lots that are going to get combined to make that Bank of America.
I wouldn't imagine that you would need much more space than the space that exists at the Lido Lounge for a bank branch. I don't know why they need like a bank metroplex or something there. Why don't they build the Bank of America but maintain the Lido Lounge adjacent to it, like it's an annex?
Strip club bank
like
is a great idea.
Ass annex.
There
yes.
You go.
Strip club and banking. Penalty for early withdrawal on either side.
Make it a Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
I was sitting on that one yesterday
yeah,
because we were talking
Fargo.
about sperm banks yesterday, and I had that but didn't find a place for it, so it got recycled for today.
Yep. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's good news.
It's a sausage party. Why not tell you how the sausage is made?
Mm-hmm. Peel back the curtain, as it were. I got a text from Christina, who's one of our bureau chiefs in Las Vegas. She's from Ecuador.
Oh, she is a sexy lady.
She's cute, right?
Yeah.
Alan, you have to look at Pulgoso. This is a cartoon in Spanish that I used to watch as a kid. He sounds just like when Bill was laughing yesterday talking about Rush Hour. Now, Pulgoso is just the Spanish language version of Precious Pup. If you're really old, like me, you remember a cartoon called Precious Pup. It was Granny Sweet and Precious Pup. And he would, like, do the wheeze laugh, right?
Yeah.
That was Precious Pup.
There was another...
Muttley.
Muttley, yeah.
So Hanna-Barbera, so I don't know if the same guy did it, but Precious Pup was on for a couple of seasons. I was like a friggin' toddler when that was out. But then Muttley showed up, dastardly, and I still have a Muttley t-shirt that I'll wear occasionally, and it was the same thing. Right? So Christine out there in Vegas realized when Bill was talking about his unbridled love of the movie Rush Hour, because they announced that Chris Tucker is going on his first stand-up tour in a decade, and that's going to bring him to Playhouse Square, I think in October. And I mentioned that I had never seen any of the Rush Hour movies. They made 3 of them. Plans to make a 4th. But Bill recounting the movie really made me want to see it.
Some really funny parts.
The Chinese guy is played by Jackie Chan. He's a martial artist guy and actor. And he touches... He like tries to change...
Mm-hmm. He can't even so much. Boy, this movie sounds so funny. I cannot wait to see this. Don't ever touch a black man's radio. Yeah.
Are you hot?
No. These movies are so funny. Poundcake, he's telling me the funny parts, all right? These movies are 25 years old. That's you. Talking about Rush Hour.
Rush Hour gets me in that state. I'll
tell you
really
what.
Funny part.
That's no lie. I watched Rush Hour last night. I'm burying the lead. I laughed just like that. Every minute of that movie.
2 times.
Huh?
Every minute of the movie?
Every minute of the movie.
I only told you about 2 parts in that that were funny.
Every minute of that movie made me laugh just like that.
Oh, good.
Just like you. Because it was such a fish out of water. It's 2 fish out of different waters.
Yeah, they're going to get along, but then they do.
Yeah. Don't touch a black man's radio. That was the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He like tries to change...
Mhm.
And Chris
Because it's just unbelievable when you're watching the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You go, they can never top this. And then what do? Rush Hour 2. Rush 2 Hour. And then when you barely have any breath left in your body, they come around the corner, full tilt boogie, Rush Hour 3. Of course, Chris Tucker's laughing like that all the way to the bank.
Absolutely.
So good for him, because there's nothing wrong with that. And Jackie Chan, off screen, he's had no shortage of controversies, but whatever. And Chris Tucker wants to get back on the road, back on stage. It's called the Legend Tour.
Was Jackie Chan canceled? I don't remember.
I think he was like, I don't know if he beat up his wife or something, but he's like a communist, or I don't know what. Jackie Chan's got, listen, man, it's a different culture. Jackie Chan has got a couple of different things going on. Didn't they reboot The Karate Kid with him and Will Smith's kid?
Yep.
Yeah. But, and he's got some movie coming out with John Cena, I think, or he's in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing. Somebody asked me if you had seen that.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't been.
I didn't even think it was out yet.
No, it came out last week, and I haven't been to the theater since Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly just busy and enjoying the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to get to see it this weekend, but no promises.
Alan, if you're going to do a strip club bank, don't forget the ATM. Hint, hint. Right. That jug with the finger handle, is that for the whole finger? Nope, the one right next to it. So, yeah. Anyway, Bill could not have described that movie more accurately. And I didn't actually watch it last night.
Oh, okay.
But, maybe I will.
You feel like you did, though.
I mean, I feel like I was there, yes. Yeah. And it represented a perfect moment in time, I think, for two cultures to come together. So what's the setup? Why are they together in the first place?
A Chinese diplomat's kid gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
And so it's
here?
In America.
Or Chris Tucker goes over there?
I think that's like the third one that goes over there.
Oh, they waited 2 more to send him over there? Yeah.
But, this Chinese diplomat's kid gets kidnapped, and so Jackie Chan is the tracking him in Hong Kong and has to go all the way to America to stay on the case. And Chris Tucker is supposed to babysit him, basically, because they don't want him involved in the case, and they don't want Chris Tucker involved in the case because he's too much of a wild card.
Right. That's also what made Brett Ratner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When Brett Ratner was a thing, before he got Me Too'd, he did Rush Hour. And then I think he did one of the X-Men movies.
Yeah, he did the third X-Men movie.
I think that's funny. That's what I like about a lot of those 80s and some of those 90s cop movies is the premise that there's a guy from another country and he comes over, but the federal officials don't want anything to do with him. They go, no. So they just dump him on the local cops.
Yep.
Which is not how that works, right? It's an international situation, so you would get the federal authorities. But in the movies, the FBI goes, nah, you take him. We're too busy. And he gets set up with a local cop. And hijinks ensue.
I believe Chris Tucker's dream is to be a federal agent.
There you go.
And so he's been like rejected by them a bunch of times.
I mean, imagine if there was an international incident that required an international response that happened here in Cleveland, and the local field office said, we're too busy, give him a Cleveland cop, and they'll figure it out.
Well, it's not that they're too busy. It's that they think he's just going to get in the way. Like, they don't need his help.
They don't need. They don't need.
It's
Jackie
more of a
Chan's
formality
help.
that they're like, oh yeah, he can help, but like we don't really want him to help. And they go, oh, we know what we're gonna do. We're gonna pawn you off with this guy.
I see. They dump him on Chris Tucker. So they think it's gonna go away. Okay, well anyway, I wish Mary was
they're
here.
supposed to stay out of their business,
Right?
But do they?
Don't get in my
They
way.
end up being the ones that solve the case.
Wish Mary was here today because I was reading about, you read more and more about what professions could be put out of work because of artificial intelligence. In the first kind of wave of automation, there were a lot of blue-collar jobs that were lost. And there may be some of that too, but AI is different in that it will probably force a lot of attrition in white-collar jobs. So you'll have people that are in positions that are a little bit comfier, traditionally make a bit more money. Those people are going to be feeling the pinch this time around. And another line of work that could very easily be replaced, according to this person who wrote this article, by artificial intelligence, psychics. There could be AIs, because what do? They just take the data that they're given and they extrapolate very specifically. I bet you would get more specific information from an AI psychic than you would from a human person, because they have a vast database, right? And they're not affected by human preconceptions. So let's say that you're a psychic or a medium or whatever you prefer to be called. Artificial intelligence could become for your job, and you go, well, no, because I have a gift. I have a sixth sense that AI could never replicate, that a machine could never replicate. It's finite in its abilities to do things because it's only as smart as the data it's given. In that way, it's like any other computer. It's only as smart as the people who made it. Only as smart as the data it can process. But I say we put this to the test. I think we get a series of psychics. We pit them against AI, and we see how well they do. Robot clairvoyance. And then you compare the two. Now, I don't believe in any of that stuff, but I believe in data. Now, the first time that your AI psychic hallucinates, that's going to be fun too, because, that's a problem with AI as it is now. They call it a hallucination, where it will, however it collates the data, it will come up with some really wild stuff that isn't rooted in fact. I was reading a thing the other day. Somebody was trying to do an AI recipe, and what it kicked back was, do you see that?
Yeah.
What it kicked back was one of the ingredients was chloroform or sodium chloride or some kind of acid that they told you to put in your spaghetti sauce or something like that. Obviously, you're not going to do that. Now, the people who drive into a river because their GPS told them to do that, those people are going to end up putting sulfuric acid in their spaghetti sauce, thanks to AI chefs. But AI psychics might very well be the wave of the future. I don't know. So you're really going to have to lean into that whole sixth sense thing. You're going to have to find a better way to scam people.
Yeah, what I saw
is what I'm trying to tell you.
It was a meal planner that suggested a recipe that would create chlorine gas.
There you go.
A little pinch of this, a little pinch of
Oh,
that, and
boy.
we're dead.
I think it needs more pepper. What is the I'm getting a real weird finish in the back from this sauce. Oh, that's the chlorine gas.
Oh, human flesh as well.
Human flesh and chlorine gas.
Yeah.
I've got those Offspring tickets for you. They're doing the Let the Bad Times Roll tour. It's going to get them out to Blossom. They're bringing Sum 41 and Simple Plan with them. Oh, man, you are going to party like it's 1999. So I'll have those after the break. The show is August 22nd. It's a couple of Tuesdays away out of Blossom. Anything else you want to text for? Get me a 35192, and we'll be back.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
Everywhere on our free iHeart